I'm Roman Reyes, and this is The Takeoff Message, the podcast for politics leaders and those who keep them accountable. With the unraveling of democracies and the erosion of human rights worldwide, we need leaders willing to stand for principle, not just personal ambition, to secure a future of peace, justice, and freedom. For today's show, I'm honored to have Filipi Rocha, founder of the World Health Society, to talk about his work combating rural poverty in Nepal. Rocha began the World Health Society to create sustainable development and self-sufficiency for communities in developing countries. Rocha grew up in one of the most remote areas of Brazil, a place where people ate the vegetables and animals they grew and raised. He moved to the United States as a child and became a software engineer. His past year, however, has been spent doing work as a philanthropist, but his precise methodological approach that makes him a good engineer, supposedly, I didn't investigate, guides Rocha's philanthropic work as well. Rocha traveled the world to study urban and rural poverty across as many countries as possible to find the perfect place to begin World Health Society initiatives. After assessing all the countries he visited, Rocha chose rural Nepal as his launching point. According to him, the willingness of rural Nepalis to participate in initiatives to build a community is what made him choose the country. The goal is to do as much good by investing resources where they will have the most impact for money spent. You could say that he's a philanthropist who maximizes the marginal utility of his philanthropy, the same way a business person would look to maximize the returns on an investment. The World Health Society does for philanthropy. This year, the World Health Society began building schools and nurseries in Nepal. The nurseries give Nepali women a safe space to send their children while they work on their fields, gardens, and household tasks. This is what Filipi Rocha had to say about the nursery construction initiative.
So I talked to the principal at the school and some of the other members of the community, and they told me what they really need is a nursery, like a daycare. So what they really need is a place where mothers can go drop their kids off, small kids, and the kids can be there getting an education, by a teacher. They can be taken care of and fed while the mothers work the field, because they're all farmers there. They all work in this field, collecting hay, feeding the bulls, cows, or like doing some kind of handcraft to make some kind of income. And the fathers, the men are all out in the city, so they leave the villages every day and they mostly do like taxi driving, or they work in the city doing some kind of work. So the mothers are usually alone with the kids in the village. And if you have a child, a 3-year-old, a 4-year-old, it's very difficult to carry out the daily duties if you're having to care for the child. So to have a place where they can drop the kids off for free, the kids can receive an education, they can be fed and taken care of by a staff member of the school. That's what the community really needs. So I looked into what would it be, how much would it cost, what resources would we need to make that happen. So I got in contact with one school and they donated a building. They donated a building that they were going to use as an office for this purpose. All we would have to do is build a wall to partition the wall, buy the desk, buy the supplies, the books, and all the furniture. And after that, it would be $88 a month to hire one teacher, one staff member to take care of the kids. So $88 a month is their monthly salary. That's how much they make a month, $88. So that's all it costs to run one nursery after this material, supplies, and work and all that's done to set it up. It only costs $88 a month for 20 kids to be watched every day and educated every day. So that's 20 families, essentially, depending on, maybe a mother has more than one kid that can go, but around 20 families that we can help them support themselves. So that's how we make lasting impact. We don't just go and drop off books and jackets. We do that too. We do that too with extra income. But that's not lasting impact. That's just like a gift. And it creates reliance on outsiders and just do dumb stuff. So since the government can't offer these services, we have to do it because we have extra resources here in the United States. So to balance this world where there's this incredible amount of wealth and this incredible amount of poverty, we have to funnel money and create these kind of systems to support the people so they can help themselves. So that's the project we're doing in Nepal right now. That's our first project of many. Right now, we've gathered all the money to open one nursery. We're working on our second nursery soon. My goal is to get 10 nurseries by 2022.
Okay.
We have other things going on in Central and South America as well.
Nepal is not the only country that the World Health Society will lend their help to. With initiatives planned in South America, the Society is set on becoming a truly multinational force for development. One of the planned initiatives is set to take place in Rocha's home country, Brazil, where the Amazon rainforest is in danger of disappearing. In his 1.5 years of office, Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro has been consistently removing protections for native lands and protected rainforest lands, and giving contracts to multinational corporations and large ranchers to produce crops and livestock. Bolsonaro has taken advantage of the distraction of the pandemic to accelerate this process, taking away protections and giving the green light for development on even more land. The World Health Society will counter this by spreading awareness and, most importantly, directly buying the land before agribusinesses get to it. They will use this land to create nature preserves, allowing the Amazon rainforest to remain intact, as well as to create some sustainable farms, which plant native crops in mixed patches, rather than the large-scale monoculture soy that agribusinesses grow. The society will then offer jobs watching over the land to the local population. What gets even more interesting is that unlike many other charities, the World Health Society won't have to rely on donations. The World Health Society is planning to establish miniature resorts called eco-villages, starting in Costa Rica and spreading worldwide. The purpose of the villages will be to raise money for the organization so that they will become self-sufficient. Additionally, the villages will be places where guests will learn to live in a sustainable way, inspiring them to bring their practices back to their home countries. The villages will have heavy emphasis on sustainable gardening and agriculture. Can't wait to book my trip. I'm Roman Reyes, and this has been Takeoff Message, a messenger pigeon podcast. Thanks for listening.